Hi parents, over the next several weeks we're going to be looking at different ways that we can keep things fresh. With all the things that have been going on, some of the stresses that we faced, I thought it might be fun to talk about this theme of being fresh. And I think at the heart of this story is two ideas. First of all is a profound conviction that God made us to flourish. That was His original design. If you look at God, how He speaks to us in creation, He makes us in His image and His likeness. He gives us His authority. Then He blesses us. That's the first thing He does in relationship with us. That's the first word describing our relationship with God, is the word blessing. And then He says, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. And the implication, of course, is that He wants us to fill the earth with His image, His likeness, and His authority and His blessing. This idea of fresh, good things that fill the world. And so we're going to be looking at that theme over the next few weeks. The first theme is keep yourself fresh. And I was listening to NPR the other day, and I heard a piece that was by Heather Curley Novak, and it was part of what is on WVPE called Michiana Chronicles. And there's going to be a link down if you want to listen to the whole piece. There'll be a link down below this video. I'm just going to read a small excerpt from this presentation that was entitled Michiana Chronicles Interested. And basically the theme that this lady was presenting is, are you interested and are you interesting? Are you staying engaged in life? And so this is one paragraph from her piece that just really touched me. It stood out to me. It says, when I speak at mom conferences, this lady is an author and a speaker, I often share a story about what my dad said to me as a new wife and mother. I was fumbling through the blurry days of cloth diapers and tiny humans when my dad asked, are you keeping yourself fresh for your husband? What? As I picked my jaw off the floor, he clarified. He wasn't asking if I was interesting. He wasn't talking about just the physical dimension. He was saying, was I more than the sum of motherhood? Yes. And she goes on to say, it was one of the most powerful questions in my life. That is why I share this embarrassing truth with you. The question asked, am I interesting in the world beyond my own home and family? Do I make an effort to learn new things? Do I read the newspaper? Do I go to weird places? Do I help my neighbors? Am I interesting to speak with when my husband comes home? Do I take care of my brain as a person? As I thought about that, I reflected on the question, am I interesting? Am I interesting to my spouse? You know that, and I know that one of the best investments that we can make in our children is to invest in the relationship that we have with our spouse. And it's so easy once children come along for dad to switch into the role of breadwinner and mom to switch into the role of caregiver to the family. But all the literature and all the teaching says that the best gift, what gives your children the most secure home is the investment in the relationship between mom and dad. And so the question is, what are you doing to keep yourself fresh and engaged in life outside of the humdrum duties? Are you reading newspapers? Are you engaged in the world? And then are you taking your children into that space? Now, this is kind of at a social, she's talking about socially, and of course this is during election time that this presentation is being made, and being socially conscious and aware in that context as well. But I want to add another dimension to this, and that is, are you keeping yourself fresh spiritually? And there's one of my favorite quotes that comes from the book Desire of Ages that says, in all who are under the training of God is to be revealed a life that is not in harmony with the world and its customs or its practices. And everyone needs to have a personal experience in obtaining a knowledge of the will of God. We must individually hear Him speak to the heart. When every other voice is hushed and in quietness we wait before Him, the silence of the soul makes more distinct the voice of God. He bids us, be still and know that I am God. Here alone can true rest be found. And this is the effectual preparation for all who labor for God. Amid the hurrying throng and the strains of life's intense activities, the soul that is thus refreshed will be surrounded by an atmosphere of light and peace, the life that breathes out the fragrance and will reveal a divine power that will reach men's hearts. So are you keeping yourself fresh, both in terms of engagement in your community, being interesting to talk to, having interesting questions to ask at the table, to engage your spouse with when they come home? And are you keeping yourself fresh spiritually? And so taking some quiet time to reflect on and listen to the voice of God, to hear Him speak to your soul, to give you the peace and light that you need in order to be able to have energy for your children. I want to invite you, as you make space in your lives, to remember to keep yourself fresh in the world, that's one of the best gifts that you can give to your spouse and to your children.